I've been really in need of more tool storage next to the lathe, and I really need to just clean the area up as well. What I was thinking was to make a similar tool stand where there's an upper section with holes and then a bottom section that's got little cutouts that keep the bottom of the tool in place, with sides that give the height of the tool holder that sort of match the height of the tools. So the big part of this was cutting out the holes and the little cutouts for the base in all of the horizontal strips. So I thought it'd be nice to cut them out quickly on the CNC machine, and I started by holding down the strips on my vacuum table, which worked until it got to where the router had removed a lot of the material and some of the vacuum was beginning to get lost and the piece moved. And of course, once the piece is moving, it's not working anymore. Also, this is being a small strip, it doesn't really work that well on a vacuum table. There's not enough surface area to really hold on to the piece. So I moved to clamping the pieces with my hold down clamps, which was working fine, except the first piece I didn't realize the router bit was loose and was starting to come out. It didn't come flying out. It was never dangerous, but it just started to move down in the chuck, or in the collet. So it was cutting deeper than I had planned for, and it sort of got jammed in the piece of wood. So I had to stop and start over at that point. Then the next piece, it was cutting just fine until the circle that it had cut out flipped up right at the last second. And luckily I was right next to the stop button, and I was able to stop it before it ran into the circle. So finally, on the fourth attempt, I managed to get it to work. And from there, things went pretty smoothly. And this being a down-cutting bit, I was trying to get the sawdust out of the cut so it would get kind of packed in there. But I guess from what I've heard, you actually want that a little bit because it helps hold the piece in place. So my first one that actually worked. Now I wanted to do a section for smaller tools, like the chuck keys and a Jacob's chuck and sort of that kind of stuff, a pair of pliers. So I did a section of little holes, and I wanted to make the base with little cutouts. And those little cutouts, I wanted to have those line up with the holes above. So you can see they're right above each other. And I cut out bigger cutouts for the larger tools. And this all went smoothly. And once those were cut, I sanded everything. Now this could all be done with a Forstner bit on the drill press. So really you don't need the CNC for this. I set the height just by using the tools that I had. And once I had the sides cut, I cut a little ravet in each end of the sides. Then that'll help as I put the pieces together. So I just put a little bit of glue in the ravet. Then nailed the sides into place. And the tools go in pretty nicely. And I did the taller ones the same way. So I can clean up the lathe area. Then put in the new tool holder. It looks pretty, and it works really well. The one concern I have is that as I'm turning, this will get full of the chips from the lathe. Thanks for watching.